Get smart with your spending with Nucenda's Breeze debit card. We've got your back by offering safe and easy access to your money. Never any hidden fees, just an account that makes sense. Download the Nucenda app to enroll in mobile and internet banking, managing your funds, making person-to-person transfers, and rounding up purchases to save. Visit Nucenda.org to explore Breeze accounts and join our credit union.
New members must be eligible for membership. Equal opportunity lender. Insured by NCUA.
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. I am Joe Abeyta, and today we have a treat for you. We have the Fine Arts Coordinator for the Santa Fe Public Schools, Cristina Gonzalez. How you doing, Cristina?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent. And so it's summertime now. We've just finished a school year. We had it was a couple of months ago, right? We had the fine arts. You did your fine arts presentation at the school board.
Yep.
And did a video for that, and it was great. There's so much stuff that your department does for the schools, and you cover everything, right? I mean, it's music, it's visual arts.
That's right. Dance,
theater, right?
And increasingly media arts as well.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about that. I mean, like, how do you balance all of those different types of art in the public schools?
Yeah. So Santa Fe is the third largest art market in the United States.
Yes.
So visual arts education is essential for our students. And not just because of their role or their potential role in the economy, but how our students moving forward can interact with the economy and with the culture, right? So I would say, when we think of language and culture, art and culture economy, creative economy, all these pieces that you hear in the news and in the economic development department, this is like, this is like the heartbeat of Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And so our students need to be literate and have the capacity to participate in all of that, whether there are working in it or whether they're appreciating it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that, and in terms of their own identities, I mean, art and culture is kind of core to Santa Fe's identity, cultural identity.
Yeah.
So I think visual arts in particular plays such a really key role there. I might be a little biased because I'm personally also in visual arts.
Yeah.
And then music especially really develops capacities that are related to the same capacities that kids use in math.
Yeah.
Kind of logical sequencing, being able to break things down into smaller steps, perfect it, then you add one more, perfect it, then you add one more, right? Like that kind of sequential logic processing, music in particular really cultivates that. And then I think with theater and dance, it's like physical confidence, presence, being up in front of people, being able to like be yourself.
Yeah.
That's empowerment. So, I mean, I think it's a challenge to balance for principals. I think it's a challenge. How do you get all of that in when there's so much that, there's English and math and social studies and all those other things?
Yeah. And you bring up a good point too, is that, well, one thing I have to say, the music program, I wish that something that existed when I was in elementary school, when I was in the public schools here, because I always would love to learn how to play an instrument. And in the programs here where you don't have to know how to play anything, you want to learn how to play guitar and say, well, we'll show you how to play guitar, and you get to practice it. A
guitar.
That's right.
The district provides. We have a 1-to-1 instrument policy.
That is awesome.
If a student wants to study clarinet, they're going to get a clarinet.
Yeah.
And they get to take it home and they get to practice it. And I mean, that is remarkable.
Yeah.
The investment that this district makes in music education.
Well, and I think also it's that time probably where you're looking forward to going to a class, and it's a little bit of a release, a stress relief type of thing where it kind of balances your day, right? Where like you may have a math class or a history class. And yes, you may like history and math. There's some that like that, but there's some that like music, and maybe going to music class is kind of a release of the day of like, just like a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
You know, where I can play clarinet and I can listen to music and I can play with other musicians and we can learn together. And, you know, it's something that you look forward to, right? It's a class that you look forward to, much like with even visual arts, right?
Absolutely.
Where you can paint, or you go into maybe an editing suite to edit some video that you're doing, because we have also multimedia that exists in our schools now.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Technology is playing an increasing role in all of the arts.
Yeah.
In music and visual arts. And of course, in our film classes that we have at Capitol and at Santa Fe High. That's all technology based.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was pleasantly surprised going to Nina and seeing they have an editing classroom.
Yes.
Editing suite.
Yes.
And they also had set up some lights with the green screen.
Yeah.
And then you had middle schoolers editing. And I thought, man, that is awesome. You know?
That's right. The growing film industry,
Yes.
those kids are going to have some basics if they want to go into the film industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then going back to living in Santa Fe, right? So art right down, a mecca, if you will, of Southwest or even world renowned, right? At the plaza,
Yes.
you have galleries there that are just amazing, right? If you even growing up here in Santa Fe, and when my wife, she's from San Diego, and we'll come up here occasionally. She wants to, we have dinner or whatever, and we walk around the galleries, and I'm just like blown away of like, man, I really wish I wouldn't be so desensitized to growing up here in Santa Fe. And it's just the plaza. We go there, we eat, and then we hang out and whatever. And then walking around and then seeing the beautiful art that's here, right?
That's right.
It's just amazing that we grow up, we're living in a place like this, and our kids have that opportunity to experience that firsthand.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, I think of so many educators that I know across the country and some kind of national organizations and these conferences that I go to. And when I say, oh, I live and work in Santa Fe, these people and the teachers and the people like who are similar to my role, I'd love to be in Santa Fe. I mean, this is a kind of hot spot for art.
Yeah.
And music. I mean, Santa Fe Opera.
Yeah.
The Santa Fe Opera is one of our great community partners. That is a world-class opera. People come from all over the world to go to the opera.
Yeah. And I got to say, I've had interactions with folks from the opera, and you think the opera, it's kind of a snooty type thing.
Right.
But the organization itself is just amazing. And they want people to be involved in the opera over here. Everybody. Right?
Yes.
And they're just amazing out there. They're just very inviting. And they say, hey, let us show you let's show you our stuff here. Come on.
That's right.
They're great hosts, if you will.
They are so generous with Santa Fe Public Schools. And, I've always thought the same thing. Like I went to an opera in college, actually, the first time I went to an opera.
Okay.
And I was blown away and confused, right? Like, wait, what? I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know this music. The way that they're singing is not like anything that I've ever heard before.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've learned about from the folks here at the opera, and they like to say this, it kind of brings together all of the arts in one, which is pretty interesting to me. So the people on the stage, they're singing, there's a pit, there's live musicians down in the orchestra who have to play this very high level music. There's the visual design, which I'll say they have a program for technical theater for students. And we have students from Capitol and Santa Fe High, maybe Mandela. I'm not sure if this year we have Mandela. And those high school students can learn about the technical theater side, how to lighting, like the lighting design. That's all visual art and design, the costume design, the set design and building, carpentry skills.
Yes.
Like, how do you, I mean, it's like,
It looks like a Disneyland underneath there, right? With the warehouse and the carpentry and all that area that they have under there.
I've never been.
Oh, you
it's
haven't?
like, no, I've been dying to go do a
pretty
tour.
awesome. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
No, I'd like to get students up there too. Like, that'd be cool to get some student tours up
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And also the opera also is, I think, like it's ranked in the top 5
Oh yeah. No,
in opera houses.
Yes.
Correct? In the world, in the world, correct?
Yes. It's like world class.
Yeah.
And they do all these great programs for us. We have a program that's called NM Art, New Mexico Alliance for Responsive Teaching.
Yeah.
And these are workshops for teachers, for classroom teachers, on how to utilize the arts in their daily instruction.
Yeah.
So it's a way for students to be able to demonstrate understanding through an art form. It doesn't have to be a test.
Yeah.
You can demonstrate how you can demonstrate skills in English, in math, you're learning in social studies through the arts. There are artistic and creative tools to do that. And they offer training in that. It's a great workshop series. We do that every year. It's at BF Young.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. They also do artist residencies. They go into the schools. They send artists into the schools. They do a summer camp, like an opera storytellers summer camp. I mean, it's like they're so committed and they're just great partners.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And also I wanted to, not only do we have that, but we also have the film industry here too as well.
Yes.
Right. And so I mean, you think about it. We got visual as far as the arts, painting,
Yes.
that, and then we have also film too as well.
That's right.
That's right here. We have a couple of studios here in town.
That's right. And it's growing, right?
Yes.
With the Aspect Studios now on the Midtown campus.
Yes.
That whole industry continues to grow. And it's a long-term investment. Yeah.
And it's impressive. I used to work on Midtown campus there in the IT department at the city prior to this. And so sometimes we had access to these movie sets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
say, amazing.
You guys want to come over and check this out? And it's just like, this is crazy that this stuff's going on here. It's like almost, it's the worst kept secret, but unless you see it firsthand, you're like, I can't believe this is going on right here in our town and we don't even know it.
That's right.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. No, I was able to walk through, this was many years ago, the set of Longmire.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it's lit, there's no roof on it. You build the set, they build the set. And then and there's designers in one building who design it down to every little detail.
Yeah.
And then the set builders, all those carpenters, the lights are above and lighting it in certain ways. And I was like, oh my gosh, how fascinating. And those are union jobs. It's hard work.
It is.
But really good work. I've had a number of friends who've worked in that industry and I mean, it's those are good jobs.
And they're pathways for our students to be able to go in and learn from professionals.
That's right.
Real live movie people.
That's right.
Right? People that are first class.
Yep.
And by showing up on time, having a positive attitude and being the first to be there and last to leave, you can find yourself in some amazing places in the movie business.
That's right.
Here in New Mexico by just doing those basic things.
That's right.
Right? And just loving it and be passionate about it. And it creates a economy and also a pathway for our community, our students to be able to stay here and serve the economy and the people of New Mexico.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And we've got some great partnerships with I think it's through SFCC, through the community college.
Oh, yeah.
So there's some dual credit and the media arts team over there at that department at SFCC at the community college. They do a great job with getting those kids kind of going, in that pathway. So I mean, I think all of that is really important for the district to introduce students
Yeah.
and get them the skills and the habits of thinking and of working together in teams.
Yeah.
Teamwork, just being able to, listen, collaborate, respond, hear someone else's idea. Well, I think that's a good idea. But what if we do it like this to generate, okay, here are 5 different ways we could film this. What's the best way? Like those are skills that the arts teach. It's a team. It's just like athletics in that way. You have to work as a team.
Yeah.
That is how you succeed. And I love that the arts play such an important role in learning that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to also mention, our teachers, right? Our art teachers that we have, our theater teachers, art teachers. I've met some throughout. We were doing the reimagining project for middle schools. And we have teachers that have worked for Nickelodeon, right? That have been like producers for them. We've had other teachers that are world-class musicians.
Yes.
That are teaching.
Yes.
Their students. And also the visual part of it, right?
That's
Just
right.
really seasoned painters, and artists, and it's amazing on the teachers that we have and the skills that they have to be able to pass that along to teach to our students, right? And it's important, I think, because when you have experienced art teachers out there that are very passionate, even at the high school level, both theater teachers at Capitol and Santa Fe High, those guys are amazing.
Yeah, they're part of actors unions.
Yes,
they have
they
been
are.
in films and TV shows, and
And one thing that they can teach the kids too is that sometimes things aren't going to go your way in this field.
Yes.
And you just got to pick yourself back up and you got to keep on trucking, right? That like there's going to be rejection and there's going to be exception, and you got to take them both, and you just got to keep on rolling with the punches. And they have that experience to be able to pass that along to the kids, saying it's okay if you don't get a role or you don't get a part, because it teaches you about real life.
It's what in education is often referred to as growth mindset.
Yes.
What you're talking about right there is one of the best things about learning in the arts.
Yeah.
Is you learn how to deal with failure.
Yes.
You will struggle. You will make things that don't work out.
Yeah.
You will be disappointed. You will go back and watch the film or look at the picture of the art piece you made and go, oh, I didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
I want to do better.
Yeah.
I want to do more.
Yeah.
That is a lifelong skill. It's not about perfection.
No.
It is about trying and trying again and improving and looking at it and going, wow, okay, what can I do better? Oh, this little tiny thing I could tweak and it could be better. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
And you have to love it. That's like,
It's part of being a part, whatever you're in, right? Is you got to you roll, and it makes you just better, right? If you rolling with the punches. Reed Machewski, I'm sorry, out at Santa Fe High, we had him in a podcast this year, and he was telling us about how he came here to Santa Fe, and it was just like because of this and this had happened, and I didn't get this, but this happened, and it was just a series of events. But that's how life happens, right?
Absolutely.
And he says, "I love being here. And he's so passionate about what he does.
Yes.
in his program out there.
Yes.
So it's great that we have those. We have access to those teachers, and they want to teach here at Santa Fe Public Schools, which is awesome. Who wouldn't want to teach
in Santa Fe?
There you go.
This is like, it's an amazing city to live and work in.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I want to, so we're coming close to the end, but I just want to bring this up. I remember when they introduced you for the first time here in the boardroom, and they were introducing you, and you were taking the spot. And it was very impressive. A lot of people, and you're not one to go and spout this off, because you're very down to earth person. And but you went to Yale, right?
Yes, I did.
So can you tell me about that? Because I know that your family's originally from Texas, correct?
Yeah, San Antonio. Yeah, the borderlands. My dad's side from the borderlands.
Yeah.
And my mom's side from Mexico City. I was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Grew up bilingual, bicultural, and we moved early on to the Sacramento Valley. So I grew up in Davis and Sacramento. Yeah.
Okay. And then how did that whole journey happen to, where you were, where you found yourself on the campus of Yale? I find that interesting.
Well, my mother was very strict, and she pushed us, myself and my sister, really hard. Right? Like there's no deviating from the plan. And my mom, like very strict Mexican Catholic family.
Yes.
You behave a certain way, you go to school in a certain way, you study, we were pushed hard.
Yeah.
And, in high school, I was very high achieving and very driven. And wow, when I got into Yale, it was like, my father was the first person to go to college in his family.
Oh, wow.
So, it was like this incredible achievement to get a daughter into the Ivy League. And we took out all the loans, and I had some scholarships.
Yeah.
And it was kind of tough when I was like, oh, I'm going to be an art major.
Yes.
Right? That was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Here you are. My daughter made it into the Ivy League, and now she's going to study art. It was like, what are you going to do with that?
Yes.
And it took some time to, kind of for me to begin to think realistically about that.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? When you want to study art, how do you support yourself?
Yeah.
And what skills does art give you that gives you tools to make it in life? My father ended up being one of my greatest champions.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome. So, and I went on and, started showing my work in some galleries and museum exhibitions. I have my work in some public collections, in the Department of Cultural Affairs here in New Mexico, and some museums. And teaching is a great way. And I've always loved teaching. I'm so committed to education. So it's a great way to marry those two, if you love doing both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because, in today's world, I feel like in this generation that we have of kids that they want to be happy with what they're doing. Right.
Yes.
And so getting something in the arts and the fine arts, a degree in the fine arts, in today's world, and it may be just like I said, it's a generational thing where it's okay because you can do something with that just based on the availability of being able to put yourself out there. With social media has just changed the world as far as getting stuff out there.
That's right. And I think generationally, with more the growth of film and Instagram and Facebook, and I mean, you have to know how to market, web design, user design. If you go like app design, all of those design fields, industrial design, visual arts and design, that is a field that we've got to be training our students on how to think through, how to create, how to imagine. I mean, I'm so passionate. You can hear my passion because this is exactly what the arts do, right?
Yeah.
This is what they do is they give students the technical skills, they give students the creative capacity to generate multiple solutions. That is what we do. And analyze, how does this work? Why does it work? There's nothing like going on a website and you can't find your way around it.
Oh yeah.
You notice immediately.
Yes.
We get frustrated, right?
Yes.
That's user design.
Yes, it is.
So I mean, all of that to me is very exciting, how the arts foster those skills and we can directly teach those skills. And why not? Kids are already doing it.
Yes.
you know, and you know what? People like my generation, I'll say our generation,
Yes, our generation,
right? Like, well, not to reveal too much about our age here,
yeah.
but we don't have all those skills.
I'm a proud Gen Xer.
Are you?
Yes.
Me too.
Okay.
You know, best generation, Gen X.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we don't have all those skills. Like the young people, they are fluid on that.
Yes.
So what we do have is we have more experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment, better judgment, one hopes.
Yes.
We don't always exercise our best judgment as, you know, adults. Hopefully we develop that, right? Better judgment. And, but also we can give kids, the tools to think critically about media. And again, with like AI generated images,
Yes.
it's pretty, we've got to teach young people how to think through that.
Yes.
How to recognize what's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen some amazing AI generated video
Yep.
that you go, that looks real.
It does. It looks, you wouldn't know, to the untrained eye, you wouldn't guess any different. Yeah, it is.
right.
It's scary.
It's a little scary.
It is. But again, you don't get that satisfaction
That's right.
by putting, I don't know, through a prompt than you would through the hard work of what it would take to shoot a scene.
Yeah.
The lighting, you know, the scripting, writing it out, going through the process, right? It's the satisfaction to be able to do that. Same way if you were to study for a math test or a social studies test or whatever it is you're studying for, and you have the answers on your palm that say A, B, you know, E,
That's right.
whatever. And then, you know, you say, hey, I studied for this and I passed with an 86. I didn't get a 99 because I studied and I put my best into it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I think, you know, the big thing, for example, in visual arts, I'll speak to that. It's what I know the best.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to create by hand, you have to develop a perceptual capacity.
Yep.
You have to perceive. You have to look carefully.
Yeah.
And then interpret what you're seeing through your head, through your brain, your mind, your heart, and your hand.
Mm-hmm.
There is a cycle there between your eye, your brain, your neurological perception, all the science of it,
Yep.
but also through your heart and through your hand. There is this like beautiful connection
Yeah.
in visual arts that AI will never have.
Yeah.
And that is how we also relate to one another as humans.
Yes.
When you're sitting across a table from someone, you're looking them in the eye, you're seeing how their mouth turns up or turns down, or their eyes soften at the edges, all those little pieces that the arts train students how to look for that.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And it's like slowing down. Expediency and speed is not always the best solution. It's not always the best path to an answer.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think technology and AI has its role and has its place, and we're all, of course, still learning what that's going to be and discovering it. It's you know, new to lay people like myself.
Yeah.
But it'll never replace, you know, it'll play a role in the development of arts in the future.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's not going to ever replace, you know, human touch.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
We use it as a tool,
That's right.
right?
Like any digital tool, you
That's
know,
right.
people freaked out with digital cameras when those came out.
Yes.
Oh my God, digital camera, right? We're moving away from film, and yeah.
And this generation now, they want to get film cameras.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's my daughter says she
wants to
it
go
was
back.
it was
Yeah.
a digital camera, but she said I want a camera. I said, why? You got one on your phone that shoots 4K? She says it's not the same, Dad.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
true.
okay, all right. So
I've heard of this. I've heard of this movement of young people who are kind of moving away from all technology. It's so interesting. I mean, I admire young people, our youth. You know, again, I've worked mostly with teenagers in the classrooms at high school age, and I just admire their passion for this world. And yeah, like how committed they are.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, you give me hope. Gen Z, you give me hope.
Yeah.
You really do
Yeah.
for this world
Yeah.
and all that we need to do to, for the planet and for one another. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness we
Yeah.
have young people in our lives.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And we have to guide them.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's right. That's
like
right.
I tell my kids, they're both under the age of 25. I'm like, your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 25. You cannot get married before 25. No, I tell them all these things. I'm like, oh gosh, just slow down.
Yes.
Slow down. Wait until your brain is fully developed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And bring all of everything that you're learning, all your passion and enthusiasm and curiosity, bring that forward and life will unfold. You don't need to make any quick decisions.
Yeah, that's right. Be patient.
And go get a job.
That's right.
At the same time.
That's true.
Go get a job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Cristina. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cristina
Thanks
Gonzalez with a Z.
With a Z.
Yes.
Gonzalez with a Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Fine Arts Coordinator for Santa Fe Public Schools. I want to thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I enjoy our conversations.
Yeah, me as well.
Definitely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We'll have you on again for sure.
Okay.
All right.
Love
thank
it.
you so much. Folks, and thank you for joining us. Have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.